Hey, what's up guys? Matt here with Fix Anything Save Money. Today we're going to be showing you how to replace the cutting blade on this Ryobi BC30 brush cutter. So you can see here's the machine, and this is model, so you can see it's BC30, but it's also, there's a model underneath it and it says RY30570 on that. So we're going to be walking you through how to replace the blade on this and just, you know, the correct way to do it, and just so you can do it safely, successfully. So the first thing I want to kind of just point out is the way that this blade turns when the machine is on. So when it's on, it rotates this way. And that's going to make more sense when I show you the bottom with the nut. So it rotates this way. So when we flip it up, we know it's rotating this way. So they put this nut on with reverse threads so that when it's turning, it doesn't loosen this nut. So in order to loosen this nut, we need to rotate this nut clockwise, because this is turning this way, and then our nut to loosen is going to go this way. Normally, we would loosen our nut turning it counterclockwise. This one, we're going to loosen it by turning this way. And to remove this nut, we're going to be using a 13mm socket and ratchet. So what I do recommend doing, if you haven't changed your blade in a while, or if you think it's on really, really tight, get a can of WD-40, spray all around here, you know, get down right at the base of the nut, and just let it sit for 10-15 minutes before you even start. And then when you go to put a socket on it, it's going to make it that much easier to remove. And I like to remove it with it in this position. And you also want to be having it rested on either your driveway, in your yard, somewhere where it's not going to cause damage to whatever surface you're working on. So like I said, we're going to be rotating this way. So we're going to be pulling up this way. And what I like to do, try to do this without my arm being in the way. I like to hold down on this hand right here, hold down on this, and then just turn it up quickly, like so. Okay, and then we're going to loosen it the rest of the way. There's our nut, and then here's our washer, and then we could go ahead and just lift our blade up. And now a lot of these are going to have an arrow showing you the direction that it's going to spin. So be sure to pay attention to that. You want the arrow going this way, so pointing that way. Okay, so then we're just going to put it back over that ring. Then we're going to put our washer back on, and then we're going to tighten this down by rotating this nut counterclockwise, like that. And you can see as it's spinning, the only option it has is to make the nut actually tighter. So that's why they put reverse threads on these. Okay, then we'll put our socket on, and we'll just tighten it down the rest of the way. Again, I like to tighten these down very well. So you want to push down on this, and then tighten that down very well, because the last thing you want is this piece coming off. So yeah guys, that pretty much sums up how to replace the blade on this Ryobi BC30 brush cutter. I also have a video up on the channel on how to replace the carburetor. I'll put a link to that right here. And I also have a video up on how to perform your yearly tune-up on this machine. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, be sure to subscribe, check those videos out. They're super helpful if your machine isn't running right, if it's bogging down, stalling out, you know, not running like it used to. Be sure to check those videos out. And yeah guys, if you have any questions at all, be sure to reach out in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, if this video helped you out, be sure to give it a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like I said, check out all my other tool and DIY videos. And yeah guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.